Well, hello guys, welcome back. So today's god of the day is Balder. It's going to be heavily UPG. If you don't like that, peace out now. Obviously there are two distinct legends for Balder, or stories, sacred stories, however you want to look at it. One, he is pure, he is light, he is innocent, he would be a healing god. You know, we have the flower of Balder's brow, and he's totally innocent. He's so holy and so pure. He glows. He literally glows. He's therefore associated with light. Some people say sunlight, and then a fight breaks out, but he's totally good. There's nothing bad or violent about this god. Then there's the other version where he is a demigod sired by Odin, because of course all the best stories start with Odin. And he desires this woman, Nana, and Holder is actually immortal in this story and not his brother, though some people will say, oh yeah, they were still brothers. Anyhow, he wants her, and he's going to go on a military campaign to get her. And it's starting to make a lot more sense already, because son of Odin. And the gods are actually all behind him, depending on the version you read. And they bless him, and they're making him immune to metal weapons, to iron weapons. And he is given the blessing of all the gods, like Thor. Obviously, his own brother's going to bless him, and Odin, everyone else. He still loses the war. He still loses the battle. He goes away. He's not killed, but he recruits, comes back, is wounded. It takes him 3 days to die, and he dies, and he's buried with a hero's honors. Now, of course, the upshot of that is that version, he's in his father's hall, obviously, because he died a hero's death. For me, he's kind of this mixture of both. He can be a benevolent, kind god, like Odin can have a benevolent, kind side that kind of makes you go, Odin? And he can be a god of war, but he's kind of this very balanced energy, like he's perfectly balanced in between the two, more so than even Thor. And Thor's a wonderful laid-back dude, but he's this very balanced energy, more so in that he's the military might, and he has this perfect balance. He can be perfectly calm. He always has it under control. That's, the experience I've been having with him. I went to his temple, and I had set up his temple for the, very cute, innocent, virginal Boulder, and the Boulder, that I work with was like, well, this is why we're having trouble. And we went back through, and his temple's now balanced. There's modern things that he very much enjoys, and there's the weapons. He was very interested in the flamethrower, which his dad also longs after. They both love the BFG flamethrower, and they both look at it longingly like, So it's kind of this unique balance between a hall where he can host people, because we know in the afterlife, wherever he is, whether he's with his dad or he's, with Hill, he's feasting and being a good host. He can host people, and he has the beer, and he has a Starbucks, because his dad has a Starbucks, he gets a Starbucks too. They all have Starbucks because me. And he has all this stuff, and he has a balance between peace and war. It's actually, Boulder feels like the god of the pantheon that he's really not interested in fighting with you, and he'd be the one you could actually walk up to and talk smack, and he might even ignore you, but if you eventually push it too far, or at his father's behest, then he comes out to see you, and then you will be sorry. But he can also be kind and nurturing. Obviously, his family is totally behind him. He's a god that you're going to find entirely UPG based. So you're going to meet people that say he's sweet, and he's kind, and he's gentle, and he loves puppies and kittens, and I've had that experience. But you're going to meet people that are going to have kind of that god of war Balder, where he's kick-ass and he's dressed in armor and he has a sword, and I've experienced that too. So you have this kind of ability to shapeshift and to be whatever he needs to be. This is Odin's son. I think, and this is just me speaking out loud, we have no evidence for it, but he had a sword, and Loki's kind of like vaguely backing me up on this in case I'm wrong. That he had a fertility cult. We don't have any evidence of it now, but usually, quite often, a war god developed from a fertility deity, because once you started having stuff to plant, you had to defend it. It was just human nature. Once you start to have stuff valuable enough to fight over, you had to defend it, so you got a war deity out of a formerly peaceful deity. So I get the idea he does both. He's highly, in my experience, he's highly intelligent. He loves, going in and looking at things like his father. It's very much his father's son. I can't express that enough with Balder. And he can be whatever he needs to be. And if he thinks you need this energy, a lot of people seem to get, and he is a god, but you know what I mean. He will put out this, with a lot of people, he's apparently like their kind of like their high school crush, like he's the jock of the football team. I'm like, that's terribly specific. But he's the star of the high school football team, and yet he's approachable and charming and everything. So he's everything they want to be. I, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm thinking of a living Ken doll. Like he's rich, he has it all, and he's athletic and talented too. Yet he's capable of this force. Yet he's never going to use it against you, so forth and so on. One of the ultimate good guys. Where since he's a son of Odin, I'm not going to, you know, try to put any parameters around him. I'm trying to be very careful. I always say this because I know his daddy's listening. The hardest problem I have with working with Boulder is that his daddy will come over and he will be like, "You're working with Boulder today," and I'll be like, "No, we're both good." He will come, it's not like the gods have to come see me, but it's like we have this agreement that if Boulder wants my attention, I get something. I will get these really sarcastic, nippy things like "I'm totally dead. Oh my god!" Da 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 da, da. Or I'll get like this other stuff, and Balder usually can find a way to contact us somehow. He seems to pick everything different with other people. But his dad doesn't always have tact to understand. I got a crow today. I got a couple crows actually, and got a blue jay. They're all corvids. They would all belong either to Loki or Odin. So the family was pushing and pushing and pushing. That can be the hardest thing to deal with Boulder. You have to kind of try to, in my experience, cut out a personal time, cut out a personal space, which is why I have that VR temple for him, though the other gods feel totally free to wander in and help. He's the one god, it seems that it kind of opens the floodgates for the rest of the Norse gods to come in my personal experience, and they do not seem to understand this is Boulder's temple. I'm here to deal with Boulder, but as I was shifting away around stuff today and I kind of got that balance, that seemed to be what works. So that's the version I got. Some people might get totally sweet and pure and holy and not capable of violence. Some people might get a warlord. Some people might not get anything at all. There are people that don't believe in Boulder. They believe he was made up to kind of get some people, don't believe in Ragnarok because they believe it's Christianization over lore. And they believe that Balder was this inserted Christ-like figure. Now, don't get mad at me if you work with him. But so there's like really no general consensus. If you're working with him and you're getting results, that's good enough for me. It's none of my business how you work with him. So I won't tell you colors or associations. There are plenty of people out there that, they're kind of the people that will give you, "Oh, he has to have this color and you have to serve him this tea and you have to do this thing for him, and he's totally sweet and innocent. You have to understand." And I'm over here like, this is literally the son of Odin. Having Odin as your father and Loki as your uncle and Thor as your brother, in the sense, how they sent him off to God school and he never interacted with the family? How? It's the laughter back here. But he's, in my experience, a all-around good guy. He's earthy. He's a lot like Thor. I think he does have this, I don't know if I fully got into that. In my experience, he has this very, he can have that fertility energy. Obviously, if he's the god of summer, fertility will fall under his rulership, and Holder being the god of winter, it's this, god of summer, god of winter thing. For some Wiccans, he dies at Yule and he rises 3 days later, which kind of reenacts one of his, death and resurrection stories. And for some people, he's not resurrecting to Ragnarok, and like I said, for other people still, he's never going to resurrect because he never existed in the first place. Remember, there are people who don't think Loki exists. So, may the odds be ever in your favor. I find him good to work with. I find out he's pretty laid back. He's very earthy. He knows what's going on. He's definitely Odin's son, but it's not this. I can't write you the handbook of working with Balder because it's going to be completely different for everyone. I definitely get the idea that being Odin's son, he's taking full advantage of the fact that they only have fragments. Sigyn is another one who will do that if we ever talk to her. We have like one fragment on her and she just took it and ran with it. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.